As seen on today's episode of The Young and the Restless, Audra takes a risk, Summer gives Kyle a stern lecture, and Tucker receives an unexpected guest. Victor and Victoria consider assuming Tucker's debt while at the ranch. They have to act swiftly, as everything is falling into place. Vicky has concerns that Devon would intervene to aid his father. As he battles Lily and Jill, Victor considers this to be a bold move. They discuss the need of pressuring Tucker to sell them a part in the company at a discount. Victor says, jokingly, that it will make him very, very angry. Victor is of the opinion that they should alert Tucker of their plan before attempting to throw him off. Then they'll pounce after he reveals his next move. They raise a glass in a toast. While at society, Tucker runs across Audra and the two strike up a conversation. He thinks she's gorgeous and claims that he always learns something from talking to her. Even yet, he can't help but suspect her intentions. His best hunch is that Newman Enterprises' Victor and Victoria are behind this whole thing, so they can collect intelligence. After they've taken a seat, he'll check to see if he's right. Audra puts off the discussion by bringing up the wine. Tucker brings her attention back to the topic at hand by noting that he wouldn't get mad if she was just trying to get facts out of him. However, he would be profoundly dissatisfied. He says that they have always been straightforward with one another. Audra assures him that she would be honest with him about the Newmans' intentions to use his debt as leverage by purchasing it. Exiting the elevator at Jabot, Summer grins. "There you are," Kyle greeted her, recalling how swiftly she had left the meeting. There needs to be resolution. Summer is angry at him for having lied to her for so long and wants him to explain everything to her right now. Summer walks into Jack's office and expresses shock that Kyle lied to her. He says sorry, but she just says, "Yeah, think." When he makes Phyllis comparisons, she gasps. "Are you serious?" Kyle defends his actions, and the two of them debate Victor's potential. Kyle, in Summer's opinion, is very fortunate. Kyle is aware of Summer's relief at Adam's departure. Summer tells her husband, "You're missing the point. This is about us, not the firm." Yes, Kyle gets it. As of right now, I'm telling the truth. Summer feels it's a bit late at this point. She begged him not to participate in her grandfather's scheme, but he lied and participated nevertheless. If that's the case, then what does it say about us? With reference to our marriage, her voice screams out, "You betrayed my confidence in every way possible." Ashley, carrying her bags, enters the Abbott home and yells, "Anybody here?" Diane descends the flight of stairs. Hopefully, Ashley is just visiting Harrison and not staying. Diane has mentioned that she would soon be meeting Jack, therefore she should. Jack walks in at that very moment. As she adjusts, Ashley wants to know what she should expect. Diane claims that she and Jack are completely back together again. Since Jack is cheating on her with a con artist, Ashley says he no longer has any morals. "Wow, just off the aircraft and already with the doom and gloom," Jack exclaims. He is sad that she cannot rejoice with them. Diane offers to leave, but Jack insists that she stay and listen. Diane tells Ashley that she hoped they could find common ground. Ashley isn't interested since she and Ashley have vastly different conceptions of what constitutes a reasonable compromise. Considering how little she likes the other person, she has zero desire to get to know them better. But Ashley argues that Jack is making it everyone's problem by holding whatever this is in front of their faces, even if he insists it's Ashley's responsibility. Jack says that Ashley cannot represent others because of her inexperience. Ash is sure she can round up a sizable number of supporters who think like she does. She feels compelled to shield him from harm because she can't deny the obvious. Jack says she is leaving no possibility for forgiveness or alteration. "I assure you, it is your petty bickering that has led us to this priceless family moment." Clearly, Ashley cares deeply for him and wants the best for him. Not this time, Jack. She sees present and future disaster when she looks at Diane. Jack feels positive that the unexpected events are over. A stern Ashley warns, "You're going to regret this, trust me, you're nothing more than a chess piece in her game." The question Jack poses is whether or not she will forbid him to be happy. Rebutting, Ashley points out that false optimism isn't a recipe for fulfillment. I mean, what would he think if she kept falling for Tucker's biz? Jack is praying that it won't happen to us. Once again emphasizing her point, Ashley says, "That's what I see when I look at the two of you." That's terrible. Angry, Jack snaps, "Enough. In other words, I can't take it anymore. Tucker thinks to himself at the society that it was a smart move on Victor and Victoria's side to go after him instead of Chancellor. He calls it typical Victor behavior, claims Victoria is even worse today, and Nick and Nikki will merely nod in agreement. When asked whether it sounds about right, Audra affirms it while also warning that they won't wait around for long. Tucker is left wondering why exactly she warned him. Audra will give him permission to think however he wants to. What are you planning to do now that you know what's going to happen? Victoria and Victor are trying to figure out a civil way to give Tucker the information at the property. Victor suggests going after him head-on, but he has something else to talk about first. About Johnny and Chelsea, he inquires. Victoria has noticed a change in him. She thinks he is more comfortable with her, and that he would like having a sibling relationship with Connor. Victor inquires as to how she is coping. If you're wondering how Victoria is doing, she says she's good. For Victor, it's crucial that she never forgets the value of family and the significance of keeping in touch with them. Victoria is suspicious that he wants to bring up Adam. Jack tells Ashley they no longer need to stay at the Abbott estate. Her pessimism may exit the building right now. Ashley is getting angry since he seems to be making this a habit in the hopes of forcing her out of the house. You just can't pull it off. Inquiring, how much? Jack inquires. How much what? Asks Ashley. A resounding how much is it going to cost me to purchase you out of this house? Comes from Jack's lips. Ashley tells him that time will come when it's colder than haze. And with that, she storms out of the house. Before handing Diane a glass of wine, Jack apologizes for her having to listen in. Diane believes she must bear some of the responsibility. Jack refills her glass and dismisses her argument. When he arrived, Diane admitted she may have gloated. According to Jack, they're bound to have more fights. Diane is concerned that their friendship is creating tension between him and his sibling. They've been through worse, Jack says, they just need time. Diane wants to know how things stood between her and Kyle after she left the office. According to Jack, Kyle's explanation was not what he had hoped to hear. Kyle feels terrible that he upset Summer and wants to know how he may make amends with her at Jabot. Summer says he doesn't understand that he shouldn't just buy her flowers. She doesn't want them to have to deal with lies and secrets like Diane, and he just shown he can do the same. Irritated, Kyle responds, "Oh, don't compare me to my mother." "Why not?" Summer inquires. "I just got my worth compared to yours." Kyle says he's sorry and just wants to head home. Summer insists that an apology must be more than a throwaway line if he wants to be forgiven. It doesn't function like that here. Kyle knows he has to put in effort, but he feels it's unfair to hold him to the same standards as his mom. Because this is not his nature, it won't happen again. According to Summer, you lied to me, and you continued to lie to me even after you had the opportunity to come clean. He wouldn't have hidden his plan if he was confident it was the best option. The fact that he wanted to conduct something illegal despite knowing it was wrong speaks something about his character. The conversation at society has Tucker wondering if Audra leaked the info to figure out what he'd do next. He had Audra scratch his back, surely he would be itching to scratch hers. He finds that to sound less than platonic and would prefer to return to his room. Audra says she might take a rain check from him. Tucker is still not entirely sure she isn't trying to trick him. Whether or not that disturbs him is something Audra probes. Tucker informs her that it excites and stimulates him. To express her gratitude for dinner, she kisses his cheek. Victoria at the ranch is aware that Victor is determined to reintegrate Adam into the group, despite the fact that there is currently no opening for him at the business. Victor understands that she still hasn't made the connection. When asked about Tucker's business, I exclaimed, "Why the heck do you think I'm so interested in Tucker's company? He would like Adam to take charge." Jack breaks the news to Diane at the Abbott estate that Adam has left the company and that Jack is devastated by Kyle's decision to provide Victor Newman access to sensitive company data. Diane assumes that he was merely trying to shield Jack, but the Abbott assures her that this was unnecessary. Diane is confident that they can work through this. Jack is really frustrated by how poorly timed everything is. Ultimately, all he wants is for everyone to be happy and content. To reassure Kyle, they discuss leading by example in their relationship. Jack is adamant that this time will be different. "We're going to get it right this time." He explains to Diane that he can't help but admire the mature woman she's become. "You have my undying affection." Diane tells Jack that he is the best thing in her life. She can finally relax and be herself with him. And he is the living proof that she has done the right things. I adore you in every way. They have a passionate embrace. Keep holding tight, Jack orders her. I promise to be right back. Jack comes back, hiding the house keys in his back pocket. What I said to you just now is how much I need you in my life, so why delay what is bound to happen eventually? Another lonely night apart is the last thing I need. I hope you'll come to consider this place your permanent residence as well. After a long day at Newman Media, Nate calls Elena to apologize and assure her that he will be home as soon as possible. The phrase, "Don't wait up." Audra enters the room when he hangs up. She claims to have had a productive talk with Tucker. He is well aware that there are others who would like to know exactly how his business is doing financially. Hopefully she played it down or pretended she didn't know, as Nate suspects she did. The Newmans want to acquire his debt, according to what Audra claims she went around to tell him. Why the heck would you reveal that? Screams Nate. Astutely, Audra advises him to put his faith in her. Nate just doesn't get it. In Audra's opinion, this shows that Newman is in command. Though he made no outward display of it, Tucker was shaken. This wasn't what they talked about, and Nate is still angry about it. Audra claims it is superior and says so repeatedly. She recognized an opening, took advantage of it, and is now enjoying the fruits of her labor in gaining his trust. He must move quickly before Newman fulfills his threat to buy up his debt. As far as she is concerned, he will keep her informed at all times. They will corner him and then be there to clean up the mess he makes. Success for the Newmans is assured. There at Jabba, Kyle explains to Summer that his collaboration with Victor was purely strategic. Summer presses him, asking if he is aware of how many heinous acts her grandfather has justified with that reasoning. Don't make the same mistake he did. Don't follow in Diane's footsteps. Unfortunately, she must dwell in her rage. Kyle is optimistic that they can figure it out, but she insists that she must do so on her own. When Adam mentions wanting to date McCall, Victoria snorts. Of course, you want McCall for Adam. Adam, she forewarns, will pose the same question of him. Will he report to her? Victor reassures her that she will not suffer any ill effects from Adam's return. It's crucial to Adam that he return to the fold at the helm of the corporation. Victoria is aware that her dad sees this as the best option, but she does not agree with him. The irate Victoria says, "You are the one who taught us never to underestimate Tucker McCall, and the same can be said for Adam." They have to deal with not one, but two unknown variables now. To her relief, Victor promises to handle everything. Don't fret, all right? Tucker, calling from his suite, claims that someone has been investigating his debt and that he needs to know the results. As he hangs up, Ashley knocks on the door.